Hello, it's Lou Collins. Today I've got an SVG template for you. This one comes from Craft World and it's part of a bundle of fantastic Christmas and festive themed decor, home decor, decorations, things like that. Now we've already created a cracker that was really quick and easy to put together. We've created a 3D Christmas tree as well and other things. This is the wreath, so it's the Poinsettia wreath, and you can of course resize all of these elements to make it as large as you want to. I've actually sized the wreath down so it's going to be reasonably small compared to how big you could do it if you're working on a 12 by 12 mat with your cutting machine. But this will also make it quicker for me to pop together for you, but you can make it as large as you really have the time to work on it. So I've cut the wreath parts, which is these semicircles or quarter circles, just from a beige cardstock. I have cut the poinsettias from a kind of pinky red and a light green for all of the leaves. Now I'm going to add extra depth to these by inking them. So I've got aged mahogany for the poinsettia and I've got forest moss distress oxide for the pale greens. So I just need to remove all of these and then we can start adding the colour first before we put things together. So bringing in a blending mat, I'm going to start with the poinsettia. Now it's up to you whether you add the ink, the colour, to the end of the leaves or the petals or to the centre of the flower. It doesn't matter either way. I'm going to do it to the end, it's just a little bit simpler. And you need to decide whether you're going to want to layer these up or keep them as single layer florals. So just there, I've just added to the very tips of the leaves. And I'm going to do the same to each of these flowers. You can cut as many flowers and as many leaves as you need. What I did is I took this cutting file into my machine's, it's like a workspace as such, canvas, and I just worked on it there and I actually separated all the pieces so that I could cut all the florals from one colour or the leaves from another colour. You can also copy and paste, you can duplicate those as well then. So I'm going to work through, and I've got some smaller ones here as well to do. I'm going to do this with this aged mahogany on all of the poinsettia, and then I'm going to work on the leaves in exactly the same way with the green, adding colour just to the ends of those too. With these smaller leaves, rather than get really mucky fingers trying to ink the small areas, I'm just going to spritz over these with a dark green ink spray, and that will add some interest as well anyway, because this has got a little bit of shimmer in it, but it's also gives it speckles rather than just a solid colour. So just need to allow that to dry and then we can start constructing our wreath. So the wreath itself, the base, is 4 pieces. I'm just going to adhere these by slightly overlapping them. So just a little bit of glue on one end and just overlapping maybe ½ centimetre, not much more. If you want to, if you've got the time, you can actually recut some of these and then place them on the back going over the fold, so you're kind of doubling up, and that will also help strengthen your wreath too if you wish. So just go over these last ones. I can put this last one here like so, just one there, and then just while all the glue's wet, just bring this round to make sure that they join like so. Press everything down. There we go, we have our wreath shape. Lovely. Okay, so now let's start thinking about these florals and leaves. I'm going to start with the bigger leaves first of all, and I'm just going to place these round the wreath in random areas. Now don't worry too much about where they're going, because a wreath would be naturally quite organic, shall we say. You wouldn't have the leaves in similar places. So just popping them down. I actually inked the bases of the leaves rather than the tips. Filling in the gaps. Don't forget to have some leaves coming in. Oops, that one's the wrong way round, so we'll put that one like so. Some wreaths coming inwards and some wreaths sorry, some leaves coming inwards, some leaves popping outwards as well. Because this is just the base, we are going to work on filling in these gaps too. That's why you don't need to worry too much at this moment about how they're looking. Now I'm going to leave 2 leaves there for now. I've just got a few around my wreath. I'm going to leave 2 of them for now, just to the side, that I can use later. Let's just bring these in to make sure we can still clearly see our wreath shape. What I love about this is I've used a wet glue, so I can change these a little, just for a few minutes if I want to. Okay, happy with that. Now I'm going to start with the larger of the leaves. Sorry, the larger of the poinsettias. Leaves and poinsettias and wreaths, I'm getting them all muddled up. And I'm going to put them at the base. I've got 3 here, so I want to sort of put them evenly around. I'm going to be at the base of one of the leaves. So that one round about here. And then I've got 3 of each size. So I'm starting with the large ones and another one there. Then I'm going to go with the next sized one, and I'm going to place that over the top of the large one and slightly stagger it. Just a tiny bit of glue just in the centre of each, like so. And then one more. And then I'm going to place the smaller flowers just on their own, just in each of the gaps. So a little bit of red to fill in the gaps between the bigger ones. And again, trying to put them at where I can at the base of leaves. So then I'm going to tuck in my other leaves. So let's put one at the base of this flower. There we go. I want to make sure the flowers, when they dry, I can lift all of those petals up. So there we go, starting to come together, isn't it? And this one, I'm going to still leave this one, I think, for now. I think I'll leave that one for now. I might need it in a little while. Okay, and then we're going to come to the last one, the holly leaves. And I'm just going to pop these all around, trying to kind of finish off. So if there's the end of a leaf, trying to make sure it sits on the end of a leaf, if that makes sense, just like so there, just so that the ends of the leaves don't look quite so so blunt. Fill in any gaps once you've got the ends of your leaves all kind of finished, like so. Start filling in gaps. So we have a gap. Do you know what? I think this leaf, I found a space for it. I think it can come in here, like so. And now we can take the rest of our little holly leaves and just pop them where we have spaces for them, kind of covering up as much of the wreath as you can. One there. Can just be coming out from under that leaf, if I can just get it in there. One more over here, coming out there, and lastly I think one there. Okay, yeah, happy with that. Really starting to come together quite quickly, isn't it? Now, what I need to look for within my stash is something that's going to be the centres of the poinsettias, and I have found that I have some lovely little wooden buttons. 1, 2, 3. So you can see how you could really build this up to be quite large, couldn't you, if you had enough cardstock and the time to sit and just have those cut. I mean, your machine's doing the cutting for you anyway. There we go. So just some wet glue in the centre. There we go. And you'll need to leave those to dry. Now in the centre of the smaller poinsettias, I have some sequins, and these are gold. So these are just going to add a little bit of sparkle. There we go. Just pop one in the centre of each of the sequins. Now I'm starting to get really sticky fingers from all the glue. So what I'm going to do now is I have a tool. It's a bit like a pencil, but it's called a pickup tool. Let's just grab this. So this is a Craft Stash pickup tool, and this is just going to help me. So I'm also going to place some of these yellow sequins, both big ones and little ones. Oops. Just, there we go. Come on out. Should tip these out really. There we go. So let's take these sequins. What I do is I keep these. They come in Paper Craft Society boxes usually. Let's just start with new ones rather than digging into the bottom of the box. These ones came from a Paper Craft Society box. Couldn't tell you which one now, but I'm sure it was a good one. I'm just going to place these gold sequins kind of at the bottom of some of the leaves there to almost look like berries. Add a little bit more sparkle. Oh, that's upside down, so let's turn that round. Let's do another one just there. There we go. Okay, yeah, happy with that. I don't know if you can see that. We've got that sparkle all the way around. Now the last thing I'm going to do just to finish this wreath off and make it look really Christmassy is come in with some Cosmic Shimmer fluffy stuff. So this fluffy stuff, I'm going to do a range of just capturing the ends of the poinsettias and the tops of the leaves in places. And if you've never used fluffy stuff before, it's really good fun. You spread it on, you can spread it on really thick or really thin, and it will just expand and fluff up. So I'm going to do the tips of leaves as if it's sort of resting on some of the leaves as well. I'm also going to do dots in areas where there is a bit of a space still, and this will just help fill those in. So I'm going to speed this up because I'm going to work around this. It will take a little while, so I'm going to work around, speed this up for you so you don't have to watch it all, and then I'll dry it off and we'll come back when this is finished. There we go. So we have our wreath with our snow flurries all over it, which just fills in the gaps as well. You can certainly cut more florals, more poinsettias, more leaves if you want to fill that in. On the reverse, you can cut a couple more wreaths and really strengthen that, or cut it from a thicker material if you want to. You could even do this from fabric, but it's a beautiful wreath. A little bit of string just to hang that somewhere will look absolutely gorgeous at Christmas time. So pop onto Craft Wild, find the SVG there. You can purchase that in a bundle with some other Christmas decor as well, and let us know in the inspiration gallery what you've been making.